Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome back to another video. All right, let's check it out. Let's see what I got for you right now. If you like those cards that were very popular in certain parts of the world, that it really made a statement in some countries around the world, and they were very, very into it. They were, like I said, very popular altogether. And let me tell you, quite attractive for that era. Well, before I keep going around the bush and give you extra little details that may not throw you nowhere, let's give it a proper presentation. What I got for you right now is a 143 scale 1970 Ford Taunus. Now, before you may not be familiar with this car, depends where you're from and what part of the world. This is not the Taurus. Taurus was sold in North America. Taunus was a Ford model built for the European market. Well, built by Ford of Europe, not just for the European market, but also for other parts of the world too. This car was sold in other parts of the world, like I'm not sure, I think as Australia. In Latin America, we had a Ford Taunus too. It was a popular car. I'm sure also in South Africa and maybe parts of Asia. I would say that. But let's give it a proper presentation. Like I said, this is a Taunus. They call it a Taunus TC. Okay, was a large family cars marketed by Ford of Germany across three generations of models between 1970 to 1982. It says the Ford Taunus TC and the Ford UK's Cortina range were rebadge variants of each other. The TC badge standing for Taunus Cortina, but for but all the I'm sorry, for all the first generation, the two cars were identical apart from badging and trim. Okay, so basically the Ford Taunus TC, they were in the market between 1970 to 1982. Now, this very first generation, before it got, refreshed, it was the first generation the first pre-facelift between 1970 till 1975. Okay, now this model came as a two or a four-door saloon or sedan, like the one that we're looking right now is a two-door. Then they also had a five-door Tournier, which was a state, the wagon, and then they had a two-door coupe. I did a video of the coupe not too long ago, maybe about a year ago. But if you go to the Ford Taunus, if you put or look in the Ford playlist, uh, there you could probably find it there in the listing. Engines. There's quite a few different engines. It obviously depends on what model. There's a 1.3, a 1.6, and a 2.0. Now these were four-cylinder engines. Depends on the years that that you buy in the car. Some some engines were only sold between certain years. Then you had a 2.0 and a 2.3, and these were six cylinders, both of them. Transmissions, you had a four-speed manual, and then you had a three-speed automatic option. This car, what I remember more was the refreshed model, not so much this one, the one that came out after 1975 when they got refreshed. I think that one was more popular worldwide from what I remembered. All right, everyone. I'm gonna let this nice looking Ford go around a few times, and I'll be right back. All right, everyone. So, what do you guys remember about this Ford? I know these cars were popular like in Germany, obviously, and in the UK was the Cortina, which it was identical as the Taunus. For a while, I really didn't know what was the difference between the Cortina and the Taunus. And I used to question why do they have different names? And then from what I read once was because Taunus, that's how it was called in most of the world, whichever they sold this country. But Cortina was more for the UK. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Again, I'll leave it up to you guys to let me know the proper answer to that question. All right, everyone. Let me know in the comments below. Was this car sold in your country? How was it called? Did you like more the four door, the two door, the coupe, the wagon? What was your best option as the styling of this model? Do you still see them around? Maybe in a car show, maybe in the streets, maybe you see them in a museum. Don't forget to give me that beautiful thumbs up. Thank you so much. I always like to thank you guys because I truly appreciate that support. And don't forget to click and subscribe and click the bell next to the subscribe button that will remind you when I'm posting more videos. Take care of yourselves more than ever, and goodbye.